You're locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
Resistance is futile. The revolution has begun.
You're listening to Rebelpreneur Radio, helping you break the rules and build the business you need for the life you want. And now, broadcasting his pirate signal
from somewhere beyond the status quo,
here's your host, best-selling author, marketing and media strategist, Ralph Brogden.
Hello and welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio, the show that helps you build the business you need so you can live the life you want. I'm Ralph Brogden. You know, a big part of building the business you need for the life you want is learning how to break out of the box. I don't know what that box looks like for you. It could be your own expectations. It could be your past that you have to get over. It could be some obstacle or some challenge in the present. Whatever that box is, you got to break out of it if you want to live the life that you want to live, and especially if you want to build a business to give you that life. Today's expert is going to help us break out of that box. Her name is Jordan Hemsley, and she is the founder and creator of the Breakout Summit, a day-long event in Salt Lake City to help you break out of your box and develop confidence and determination in your life. She is an expert in loving and finding your true self and potential and guiding you to find and truly begin to love who you are and what you're meant to do. This is right up my alley. I'm all about purpose. So this is really cool. Jordan Hemsley, welcome to Rebelpreneur Radio.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
And you are out in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit more before we get into the nuts and bolts of how you transform people's lives and help them to find their purpose. Tell us a little bit more about you. How did you get started doing this? What's your story?
Oh man, that takes me back a few years. So I started out just as a newly married. I was a new mom, and I was in a job that was just draining me. And I'm sure so many people know how that feels, where you're just sitting at a desk and you're like, oh, I hate this so much. And, you know, when my baby got to 8 months old, I just decided I was done. I was done working for someone else, done doing things for other people. And so I decided to just stay home. And in staying home, I am like, I'm a person who likes to be around people, and I like to do things with other people.
Oh, yeah.
And
so that was hard then.
Yeah. So I fell into this really deep depression, and I was still feeling drained and stuck, which is a word I hear a lot, is stuck. So I just started to build myself up little by little. I jumped into an MLM here and there, got a taste of how it felt to kind of run my own type of business, but I still had someone telling me what to do. And so, I just kind of started doing everything by myself, and people started to come to me and ask for advice and ask how I was doing certain things. And so I started coaching without really knowing that I was coaching.
That's good when it happens that way, isn't it?
Yeah. It was so fun, and it was so rewarding to see these little tidbits of advice that I would give and see the change that it would make in other people's lives.
And it's stuff that you take for granted as just so obvious. But what's obvious to you is not necessarily obvious to everybody else. And you share that, and they transform their lives, and you're like, really? That's hard to believe.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and it's so funny. People, you know, little things like smile a few times a day, like purposely put that smile on your face, changes your whole day. And people don't realize that that's a thing.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool. I remember hearing people talk about a gratitude journal, and
yes,
I think, well, that's cool, but I wanted to do something a little bit different because I already journal anyway. I've journaled ever since I was a kid, and I wanted to put a different twist on it. So instead of doing a gratitude journal, I started writing one handwritten thank you card per day. And so that's connecting me with gratitude, but it's also helping other people. It's not just journaling my private thoughts. And so it's the little things that can make a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's a wonderful thing. In my Be Thankful challenge, I actually make them write 3 letters to people to say thankful for. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now your mission is to help women, and you also help men, right?
Yeah, occasionally, you know.
I talk to so many gifted and talented women. It's like, well, I only work with women. And I always go, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if a man comes up to me and is like, hey, I want to work with you, I'll be like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
If I resonate with him, then I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, super. So your mission is to help women and men all over to connect to their inner selves and find their life's purpose so they can finally start living the vision for who they are meant to be. Tell us more about who you work with, who comes to you looking for that, and what do you do with them?
Okay, so a lot of the time, most of my clients are people who are running small businesses or running their own small company of some kind. But I also get lots of women, mostly women, who are just stay-at-home moms or, you know, not feeling fulfilled in their job. They love their job, but they're not feeling like they're living up to their potential. Mm-hmm. And so I don't always coach on business tactics or anything like that, but just anyone who feels stuck and feels like they are in a rut and need to get out of it. So that's basically where most of my clientele comes from.
Yeah, and that could apply to so many different areas.
So many, yes.
Well, do you find with the people that you're working with that there is a common problem that you see over and over again, whether it's this general complaint of feeling stuck or trying to break out of the box or find their potential, but what's the problem? What's the big problem you see over and over again with the people that you're helping?
Yeah. So like you said, most of it is they come to me and they're like, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm doing. All of these similar phrases come up a lot. But when we finally dig in and find out what the root problem is, it's that they don't know how to be grateful to themselves. They don't know how to be loving of themselves and in turn love and respect and appreciate the things around them.
So what does that mean? Is that like a manifestation of doubting yourself, doubting your abilities, low self-esteem? What do you think causes that?
I think it could be all of those things combined. I know that as we're growing up, when we're kids, we're taught to just, take chances and do whatever. And we have this sense of freedom where we just do what we want. And as we grow up and get older, I feel like that gets stifled more and more as you go through school and you go through jobs. And I think it kind of creates barriers in our mind of who we're supposed to be and who we really are.
Yeah, so we get socialized into certain behaviors, certain gender roles, certain functions, and, well, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to behave. And so that contributes, I think, to this sense that I'm stuck, I'm not fulfilling my potential, or someone's trying to put me into a role that just doesn't seem like a good fit for me.
Yeah, and totally. I know that I've had so many clients who are like, well, my boss said I had to do this, or my mom said I had to do this. And I'm like, wait. Does your mom run your life, or does your boss run your entire life? Like, it doesn't matter what they say.
Yeah, so it says the one who left and says, I can't take this anymore, and you went home. That's true. But that is actually a very powerful thing that you're doing, is to give people a sense of self-worth, and not just to accept what life hands them, and not just to accept their work situation, and not just to accept their relationships as they are. And so for some people, maybe the right thing is to make a complete change and get out of that situation like you did. Maybe for others, it's learning to kind of be bold and say, well, here's my opinion, here's what I think, and begin to contribute to that situation, and go beyond just the default of, okay, well, that's what they said they wanted, so that's what I'm going to do. You help people to get beyond that default reaction.
Yes, yes, definitely. I love when they get to that point where they're finally like, oh, I spoke up to my mom about this opinion that I had, or I told my boss the idea that I've had, lurking in the back of my mind, or I started a podcast, or I started my business. And just those first few steps are just amazing to see what people can do.
Yeah. And that creates such momentum at that point. It's like, oh, well, I did that and it wasn't so terrible. I was working with a client who she had some, she's a devoted mother, like what you're talking about. But I would give her things to do in her business, things that would help her get where she wanted to be, where she said she wanted to be. And every week we would check in and she had not done them. And I start digging into, well, why is this? I mean, I'm telling you what to do. You're not doing it. You're not performing it. And it's because her family was so used to asking her to come and help them and come and support them and babysit for them and do the different things. And I said, well, have you ever talked to them about the fact that you have a business and you have things that you have to do and try to set some boundaries there?
Yes.
And she said, well, yeah, I've thought about it, but I've never done anything or said anything about it. So I suggested that she try that. And she did, and they understood, they respected that. She was able to establish some business boundaries, and she was able to finally make some progress. So these are the simple things it takes to get us from where we are to where we want to be, but we've got to be willing to break out of that box, right?
Yes, definitely. I had a thought. One of my clients earlier this year, I had the same problem. She wasn't doing any of the things that I was asking her to do. And we had that talk about, hey, you need to set some boundaries. Yeah, the talk. And I have the talk with lots of my clients, but I just told her, I'm like, look, you can't fill someone else's cup if your cup is not full.
That's
and
right.
It has to be all the way full, or else you don't have anything left.
Yeah. I've got a book on my shelf called, the title of it, I haven't read it yet. It's on my to-do list, but the title of it is Helping You is Hurting Me.
Yes.
Well, what a great title.
I love that. Yes, it is.
I found it for $1 someplace, but I think it's got a lot of value. I can't wait to jump into it, but we all fall into those traps. So tell us and walk our listeners through. I always like to give some kind of a self-help process because I feel like there's always something someone can do right now to begin to see some immediate improvement in the area that they're struggling in. If you have a 1, 2, or 3 step self-help process, would you be willing to share that?
Yeah, I would love to. I actually have 3 steps, but within my 3 steps, I have 3 steps. So it's actually like a 9-step process.
That sounds like me. Well, I got a 3-point plan, but there's, a subtitle and 3 or 4 levels deep. So yeah, yes, I get it. And that's great.
I love it. I can't help myself with, bullet points and stuff. I just love it. Yeah. So first I would just suggest you write some very, very clear, concise goals. Whether that's a monetary goal, personal goals, whether that's a goal in your relationship, in your workplace, whatever those goals are, write like 3 to 5 goals. And as you're looking through those goals, make sure that you're acknowledging the blocks that come up. So if you have this number in your mind, say you want to make $10,000 a month, and you write, I want to make $10,000 a month on your sheet, and then something will pop into your mind. If you have a block that is blocking you from getting that money, it will pop into your mind as soon as you write that. So as you're writing these goals, anything that pops up into your head, any kind of negativity or anything, I want you to write them down on a separate piece of paper.
So that becomes an obstacle. That we're identifying the enemy, and the enemy is anything that's standing in the way between where you are and where you want to be. And if nothing comes to mind, you can probably ask yourself, well, why don't I have that already? And then that will really get the things flowing. Yes.
It's crazy because I tell my clients to do this and they come back with like 6 sheets of paper and I'm like, whoa. Like I thought we were just writing a couple goals here. Yeah. But it really helps you see where you're at and see what kinds of things are coming up in your life and in your head and they show up in all areas of your life.
Very good.
So Yeah, that's the first thing that I would do. And then the second part is take those goals, not the blocks or the negativity, but take the goals and write down how you would attain those goals very specifically. So if you have that monetary goal of $10,000, you want to break down what exactly you have to do to make that $10,000. So if you have like a program that you're offering for $1,000, then you have to sell 10 of those programs. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So just stuff like that. If it's like a personal goal, maybe meditating is good, or reading. And I always suggest one of your breakdowns should be giving something to someone else. So some type of service, some type of advice or help, or writing thank you notes. That should always be part of how you achieve goals. Because if you're not helping other people, I don't feel like you're going to get helped in return. Yeah.
Or, even if you do achieve your goal, you get to the end of it and you realize I'm lonely.
Right. Yep. You want to make sure that you build up that support system around you. And then after you do that, you take the ego out of everything, and your ego is all that negativity, and you're going to come back to that, and you're going to write down an action plan on how to get rid of ego, which is kind of hard to explain in a really short amount of time. But ego is essentially all the negativity and everything that feeds all that you can't do this, or don't do that because they'll laugh at you, or whatever it is.
Yeah. All the negative self-talk.
Yeah. And then take action, take like serious, massive action, whether it makes you look stupid, whether you fall on your butt, I don't care. Just take some action and be accountable for that action.
Very cool. Very cool. So I like how you put massive action as the final step, but first it's figure out where you want to go, setting those clear and concise goals. Because what I found with people who, the ready, fire, aim approach. Just take massive action. Just get moving. Just do something.
Do something.
The problem is you're taking massive action and you're going in the wrong direction, and you were getting where you don't want to be faster instead of going in the right direction faster. So knowing where you want to go is an important first step, but you've also got to take that vision and make it a reality, put it into practice with massive action. So I love that. Now, tell me about your breakout summit, because the next question I always ask is, what is it about you that is going to help people who struggle to do this on their own get better results with you, as opposed to the status quo, which is trying to figure it out on their own. And you are actually, in addition to all the coaching that you've got going on, you are the founder and creator of the Breakout Summit. So tell us what that's all about.
Okay. So this is like my baby. I love planning events, and this has been so fun. But basically, it's just a day-long experience. This one is a women's event, so this is a women's summit. And it's just for you to come and develop yourself from the inside out with amazing speakers, and we'll have like fitness stuff going on and lots of other things where you can lift yourself up throughout the entire day. And then we'll have a catered dinner, and then after the dinner, we're having a pamper party. So you can pamper yourself and build yourself up from the outside in. So we're really tackling all areas of your life and all areas of things that interest everybody, and just help you to feel good on the inside and on the outside, so that you can start developing into that powerhouse and that amazing person that we know is in there.
That's really cool. Now, tell us a little bit more about who is speaking at the event and when this is happening.
So it is January 19th in, like I said, in Salt Lake City. And we have a whole crazy different lineup of people. So we have, oh my gosh, I just lost her name. Susie Wayman is coming. She was Miss Utah USA this last year.
Oh.
Yeah, she's amazing. I love her so much. We have Michael Marciel from the 5-Figure Workweek. He's going to be our MC.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, we have a speaker panel that is on fitness. So we have Chris DeSandra. She is on she's with Gymshark. So she's an ambassador for Gymshark. And Ashley Forsyth, she has her own fitness and meal planning company here in Salt Lake. And we have the women from Badassery Magazine coming, Samantha and Kathy. They're amazing. Let's see. I don't know. There's so many. We just signed on another fitness person. Her name's Michelle Sorensen. She's pretty amazing. She does her own personal coaching. So yeah, we should just have women from all over Utah coming, and we're just going to rock your pants off. I just don't know how to explain. It's going to be so good.
That is cool. And what a great time of the year to do it.
Yes.
A lot of these are happening in the summer and so forth, but man, in the winter, you need something to go to, especially after all of the holiday hustle and bustle and rushing around and such. What a great opportunity for women just to kind of go and get recharged and get pumped up, and right there in the middle of January, or in January. Yeah, middle of January. January 19th, you said, in Salt Lake City. So yeah, that sounds like an awesome opportunity. If people want to find out more about that, what should they do?
They can just go to breakoutsummit.com.
Breakoutsummit.com.
Yep. And that's where we are on Instagram and on Facebook too.
Okay. Breakoutsummit.com. Well, that's easy to remember. You got a great domain name there. So breakoutsummit.com. This is really great. And I so appreciate anything that's going to help empower women. I'm married, of course, to a wonderful woman, and I've got 2 great daughters. And so anything that is empowering women is really cool. And man, I just hope that men will be able to at some point take advantage of these events as well. But if we can if we can take care of the ladies, then life will be better for the men as well.
I agree. That would be awesome.
So this has been really good. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom that you'd like to leave us with as we wrap things up?
Yes. So there are 3 things that my 3 S's that I tell all my clients to do every single day. And it sounds kind of funny when I say it like this, but just bear with me. But just give silly, sexy service. So be silly, do something funny, do something that makes you laugh every single day. And sexy isn't just an outward appearance, it's how you feel on the inside. So I want to encourage confidence and determination in all the people that I coach. And then just give service, do something for someone that they wouldn't expect from you.
Oh, very good. Silly, sexy service. Well,
yes.
What a great mantra. I like that.
Thanks.
And that's something that we can take and learn from. So this has been wonderful. I've been speaking with Jordan Hemsley. She is the founder and creator of the Breakout Summit, which is a day-long event in Salt Lake City, helping you to break out of your box and develop confidence and determination in your life. Jordan's mission is to help women and men all over the world to connect to their inner selves and find their life's purpose. So if you want to find out more about Jordan or about the Breakout Summit, just go to breakoutsummit.com and you can find out all there is to know about it. Jordan, it's been a real pleasure to have you on Rebelpreneur Radio today. Thank you so much and best wishes.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Rebelpreneur Radio with Ralph Brogden. Download the show notes and much more at rebelpreneur.com.